Hello, everybody. Hi, good morning, good day. Happy 11/11, November 11. Okay, it's like a birthday. I'm so excited to do this session today. So welcome to the Chakradventure. We started yesterday. So this is a 9-day challenge where we're talking about each of our chakras. So we're talking about it, putting some intentions in the concept, thinking about, what is. So today is day 2. Okay, so the root chakra, which is the first of our chakra, okay, the seat of the Kundalini, so the door to the connection. And that's why I wanted to put it today on the 11/11, because it's a portal. Since I lived in Peru in 2010 and 2011, I started, even before that, but it intensified. When I got to Peru, I started seeing the 11/11 all the time in like the clock, the license plates, or, things in nature. I started seeing like faces in the mountain, hearing the wind, and being much more in connection with the elementals. And it's amazing because I was watching the video of Matthias Di Stefano this morning, who is in Egypt right now. They are opening as well the portals, connecting, their energy, their intention in certain locations, right? The sacred locations, and how everything comes together. This is just amazing. And Robert Grant, who just came back from Egypt, and we had a Zoom meeting after that yesterday or 2 days ago. And everybody says that when you go to these sites, the sacred sites, it unleashes, you're connected to them, it unleashes energy. And as long as I traveled all around the world, I felt like I was collecting, or I had to, like, in the video games, when you have like the little character that's going through, and the energy kind of goes down like a battery, and then they get this little mushroom or this little energy refill point, and they jump there and the energy bar like reloads. So that's what it makes me think of when I see the journey of all the sacred places I've been to in Peru, in Machu Picchu, or in England, in Stonehenge, and that I see the other people, the other researchers, or just the people passionate about travel, or everyone who's been to these sites, came transformed. And the 11/11, it's a code, but there's also many synchronicities, that you can see in your everyday life. Nature talks to you all the time. Nature, Pachamama. Okay, Pachamama in Peru is the mother nature. And if you were watching my video yesterday, I finished on this book, and then my computer ran out of battery. But that's funny because I said it was going to be a teaser for the rest of the week, and then it cut off, like come back for episode 2. So we're going to talk about this on the 17th. I will finish the passage I was reading and comment. Okay, but because it's the 11/11 and everything ties together, we have to talk about Pachamama. Okay, so it's the being connected with nature, with everything that's around you, and to yourself, and therefore to the history, the memories, and to others as well. And you see that you get the point, right? We're like pillars. And I want to show you today like some of the crystals. So today they're in Egypt, and Matthias posted in video saying to return something to Egypt, because all of these sites, we started talking yesterday about how Hiram Bingham, they came to discover. Every time we discover, or over the history and everything, things are taken and we're returning, this energy, or sending gratitude. And that's funny because I just got some crystals as well. I've had these 2 agates. The agate is an amazing crystal because it's super solid, like crazy. When you look at them, they look really fragile. It looks really fragile. Usually they sell them in slices. But I saw someone cut them one day in a gem show. I saw someone actually having a big rock of agate, and slicing them. And this thing is solid. Like this thing is, yes, you can build stuff with it. I mean, I don't know how, to what extent, but yeah, this is amazing, this column. So I have my little pyramids here as well. And this is also why I'm doing a giveaway this week. I'm going to be giving away this Flower of Life wand. Can you see? We can't see because of the reflection. Yes, this Flower of Life wand. Even in Egypt, the Flower of Life, you find it under the Sphinx pot, right? There is in Asia as well, you find the Flower of Life. In all kind of culture, you find the Flower of Life. In science, the Flower of Life is the symbol that decuplate, right? And it's the symbol of creation. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow. Okay, so I can't talk about everything in one day. So tomorrow we're talking about the Sacred Temple. Going to interview Melissa Ciotola, who is a friend that I met on the internet a few years ago, and she travels a lot, and we were talking about travels, right? And so we're going to be talking also about what they are doing in Egypt, the trip in Egypt. And yes, so if you all want to join us tomorrow to talk about the Sacred Temple, please do it. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about the same thing as that, but more in detail. Okay, today I want to focus on two stories that I want to tell. One for Zoom and one I will go back on Instagram. All right, so you see this pyramid. So on Sunday, I'm going to do the giveaway. All right, showing you more crystal. This one. Where is it? Oh. This one I'm giving away today. Okay, it's a cube. Okay, hold on, let me turn my ring. Okay, it's a cube. It's super tiny. I said that the gifts this week, they're going to be very tiny, but very intentional. Okay, it's just all the shapes, all the colors. So yesterday, the card that I pulled on Instagram was gratitude, number 44. Okay, so, and the first one today is a four-sided, right? I mean, the four square base. And we said number 4 is the foundation. Okay, even the foundation of the pyramid. Oh, I love this obelisk. See the obelisk? Oh, I still have the made in Brazil. See, I still have the tag on it. Yes, look this one. You see how it's, the base is the square, even if it's a long column like that. Okay, have my little angels. I'm going to take pictures, okay, and post them. Okay, so this was the little introduction. The root chakra is our connection, our anchoring. So all this energy I'm talking about, they are talking about everywhere, okay? Even during the coaching trainings, okay? Dean and Tony, Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, when they have their summit, their conferences, it's all about energy. Even in business, it's the energy that you put every day in all the aspects of life, right? In the architecture, when you look at the Egyptian pyramid or the Inca sites, it's all aligned, okay, with the stars. It's all aligned in between them. When you trace a line around the globe of the earth, you see how the sites are aligned on certain zones, you know, like the Nazca line. It's funny because, you know, when we were in Nazca, they tell you that the Nazca lines, they're from water, right? They're en français, on dit des nappes phréatiques. Je sais pas comment on dit en anglais. See, I have my ankh here. Egypt. They say it's like water, right? Coming back from the ground and then makes this shape. So like, what? Oh yeah, of course, there was going to be a condor. There was going to be a hummingbird, you know? But it's the same, like, that's what it made me think of, but they are like energetic lines, okay, all around the earth. And so today I want to talk about some illustrated fables around the world, because our color is red. So we're anchoring all this energy, all these concepts that have been put in the fable zone, you know. Oh, this is mythology. Oh, this is legends. Oh, these are stories. But, you know, the knowledge of the initiates in the mystery schools and stuff like that, that was told as stories. Because if you're telling someone right away, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Oh, this is not the way you do it. You can tell anyone, you know, you don't like that. Like, you don't like to be confronted with whatever, or a society, hey, you guys need to stop completely using plastic. You know, it's like when it's too direct, people put barriers, right? Because you don't like to be contradicted, even though you're going to think about it after, and it of course triggers and enclencher, start, kickstart a process. But through a story, you have the beauty, you have the poetry. So it's like when you want to make your children eat vegetables, right? Now they make like vegetable pasta, because it's like you're tricking the good stuff into candies, right? When Esteban was a baby, I would take apricots, dried apricots, and I would cut them in slices, like the little candies. And I would give him, I would be like, oh, these are candies. And this is how I made him eat dry fruits, because I knew it was good for him, not the sugar. So it's the same with the story. You want it to be more digest, you make a beautiful story, and then there is a moral. In French, we have this author called Jean de La Fontaine, and he was at the court of the king, you know, in the centuries of the lights, in the 18th century. Well, I think it's 1600s, so maybe a 17th century, that he was at the court. I'm not really good with histories and the dates and stuff, so I'm guessing. But no, from what I remember from high school, you know, everybody knows, at least we know the fables. He was at the court of the king, and instead of telling the truth from what he would witness and be able to speak about it, he would write stories about animals, okay, the lions and the donkey, and you know, every animal had this personality and would represent a character. But this was also introducing the concept of spirit animals, okay, because the lion was the king. Everybody knows the lion is the king of the jungle, of the savannah, of the animal kingdom, right? Because the power, the presence. So you retrieve yourself in some animals, right? And you can have different spirit animals, depending on the time of your life, or your mood, or when you need it. You know, sometimes you need the kindness and wisdom of the deer, the white deer in the forest. We talked about this in another video the other day when I was pulling the cards. Some days you need to be like the fox, you know, like how do you say, rusé, I can't remember this word, like wise and tricky, like you know what you're doing, you know, you have a plan, smart. So why was I talking about him? Yes, the fables already. I want to see that. That was a way, you know, to convert the message. And at the end of every message, there was a moral, okay, to make people think, oh, wait, what was this story about? So what can it mean? And if I encounter a situation like this, you know, that makes you think more. And by realizing the process on your own, you're like coming to the conclusion, oh, yeah, that's what it meant. And then you swallow the pill, right? It's like the red pill or the blue pill. It's funny, blue and red here. So you see how you can introduce this to the kids with like super cute stuff, you know, the crystals. When I go with Esteban, we go to the gem show. We get these little angels. He helps me pick the crystals. He tells me which one he likes and why. Look how cute these angels. I love that. Every time I see those little angel crystals, I buy them, because then I offer them as a gift, or they remind me of my angels. All right, so let's read this first story Now I'm going to read one story for here and one story for Instagram. Okay, so this is Zoom, right? This is on, okay, so I'm going to tell the fire of the Jaguar. The fire of the Jaguar, okay? This myth was first told by the Kayapo people of Brazil, whose stories are filled with the fantastic plants and animals of the Amazon rainforest. I love it. Pachamama. Pachamama. And you see, I love it that in every culture, you retrieve the same concept. Look at this beautiful jaguar. And look, you see, I'm wearing a dragon dress. I found this beautiful dragon dress the other day when I was traveling. Okay, I love it. The dragon and the frog, you see? Love it. Okay, so the fire of a jaguar. So if you have kids, they can watch this. All was still beneath. I apologize in advance for my accent. I'm not really good at reading in English. In French, yes. All was still beneath the forest canopy. No bird soared, no beast climbed or crawled. The only movement was the rustling of palm leaves up above, stirred by the gentlest of breezes. Go, Botoke, came a strident shout. Instantly, two boys erupted from the undergrowth, shrieking loudly and startling a pair of bright red macaws from their nest. The boys took aim, drew back their arms, and, a moment later, their spears whistled through the air, narrowly missing the scarlet birds. You were too slow, Botoke, muttered the oldest boy, skulking ahead to collect his fallen spear. Not what would we take back to the village for dinner? The boys had been hunting all day, and so far they had nothing to show for it. If they were to return home empty-handed, their family would go to bed hungry. Botoke scratched his head. The birds are gone, but their nest is still there, up in that kapok tree, he said, pointing at a small hollow high up in the tree. I haven't read the story, I just picked one. I read the passage, but I'm not sure what it's about. I mean, I know, but let's see. I bet they left their eggs behind. We could bring those back. Oh, the cycle of life. The older boy looked up to where Botoke pointed. Don't be a fool. You can't climb up there. However, you expect to get back down? But before he could finish, Botoke had started to climb the huge tree, slowly but surely making his way up to the nest. When he got there, he called down to his brother, there's two eggs here. Botoke brother sighed. Well then, throw them down, and he held down his hands, ready to catch them. Botoke carefully lifted out the eggs, lined them up above his brother, and dropped them. The moment the eggs landed in the oldest boy's outstretched hands, he let out an almighty yell. Ouch! Botoke, what are you doing, dropping stones on me? What are you talking about? Said Botoke, confused. I dropped the egg you asked me to. Botoke brothers lifted his hand to the sky. If they were eggs you dropped, do you think I would have hurt my hand like this? No, you dropped two huge stones. What? I don't understand. Babbled Botoke, looking back and forth between the nest and his brother. I was sure they were eggs, but Botoke's brother had had enough. I'm going home, he shouted. You can find your own way back. And he stormed off, taking both pairs with him. Brother, wait, I'm stuck, cried Botoke, gingerly moving along a branch, trying to work out how to make this way back down. But his older brother was long gone. Oh my God, okay, you guys. If you watched my video yesterday, I was talking about how would you leave your cat, if your cat was like on top of a branch, stuck on a tree, would you just leave them or try to get them? And this is the story. I promise I didn't read this. Like I saw Fire of the Jaguar and I was like, oh, I'm gonna read that tomorrow. That is crazy. Hours passed then. Okay, this is the new page, the image. You see the synchronicities, the 11-11. Okay, I'm taking a little break here. Look. The 11-11. Look at the colors. Look at the colors of the book. You see? Isn't it crazy? It has the arc. It has this little arc spear thing. And the colors, they're the same. Isn't it crazy? I was going to show you today my 11-11. Okay, it's like worlds between worlds within worlds within worlds. And this one has the 7 colors of the chakras. You see, the root chakra, it's like a pyramid. Okay, it's like you're looking from inside. Because I know usually you have the red at the middle, the chakra, first red, but this one, it's like you're inside the pyramid looking up, and this is the top. So you have the chakra, the root at the base, and then all the way to the crown chakra and star chakra, like the purples. Unfortunately, the quality of the camera on this computer is not excellent, but I'm probably going to add an image so you see better the colors. But so yeah, this one has the 7 colors of the chakra, which, by the way, if you would like to learn how to paint this, I want to talk to you about today my masterminds. I have 3 amazing masterminds on the mastermind.com platform. Journey to Love, which is $88. So it's pretty much nothing for 3 hours. No, like the video is an hour and a half, right? But you have another hour and a half in introduction, okay, introduction of all these concepts and everything, the technique, different artworks in the first part, and then the journey to love. It's amazing. It's for Valentine's Day, around the theme of love. You get your supplies at home, and you can paint at any time, any day, for yeah, whenever you feel like it, you know, on your own schedule. So I encourage you to do it. And then if you want to learn more about the concept of the sacred geometry and all that, the solids and stuff like that, you can follow the Metatrons vibes, where I paint the Metatrons cube and I explain a whole bunch of concepts. I show some books like this, some oracles. It's incredible training. Like, I can only recommend that you watch this video. Like, you have to. And I introduce all my soul family, because today it's about the soul family. That was the theme of the program, right? So I'm encouraging you to follow my workshops, where I recommend all of them, but I also talk about all these pages, you know, when I talk about Gaia TV, you know, or the Shift Network, Resonance Science Foundation, Robert Grant, Matthias De Stefano, Dean and Tony Graciosi, Luluminous, everybody, Melissa, that I'm going to interview tomorrow, all these people that I have in the program. It's literally like you have to follow them. If you don't follow them, you're missing out. You know, you're missing a key of the puzzle. They're really amazing, and for all aspects of life, our life connects. And if you resonate, you will align to the wave and the frequency and the wave and the portal. Okay, the portal is opening. Wow. It's crazy. Like, yesterday I was outside. I was doing this like that, and it's not like I was like, oh, I'm gonna open a portal. No, I just, like, I was there, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I need to put my hands up. I need to feel the sun, like the energy. I felt like, it's crazy. It's like I had fire, you know, I had fire in my hands. I was opening this giant portal, and I know the 11-11, believe it or not, like, believe it, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. This thing, when I was in Peru, this went through me. Like, I was watching TV one day. I was watching TV and working on my computer at the same time, with my computer on my lap. And I'm writing because I've always wrote a lot. And I look at my clock and it's 11:10. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's 11:10. I keep writing, I write like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like this. And all of a sudden, I look at my clock and it's 11:11. And I'm like, surprised, because literally I felt like in between the two times when I look at my clock, I felt like there was at least 15, 20 minutes. I was there for a long time and watching the show and everything. And as I look, like the time stopped. And as I look at the clock and it's 11:11, I feel like almost something like going through me, right? I don't know, that was like surprise, goes through me, and the TV blows up. I'm like, what? Like, that was crazy. But that was a crazy time, because opening these portals, it's not always like you open the door to everyone. You want everyone to get on the wave, even the ones who are lost. When I see the comments on my page, oh, this is crap, or even if like I see people like who are on my Instagram or whatever, and they're like, like porn ladies and stuff like that, and I'm like, at first you're like, oh my God, I don't want to get into these energies, but at the same time you're like, why? Like, it's, I want them to, even like, even the guy who's like posting crap on my posts and stuff, and at first I'm like going against, and I'm like, but the point of the portal is to raise, you're not only going to raise the frequency of the people who are on the same frequency as you want to raise the frequency and help out everybody. Just like this guy stuck on a tree, right? And just gonna leave him. Well, sometimes I don't know what's gonna be the rest of the story. Let's see. I'm excited, but this is really like des prises de conscience. Toma de conciencia, I don't know in English. Yeah, some consciousness breakthrough, that yes, you turn off fire with fire, or how does the alchemy work? And so so this portal is really open to raise everybody up, and hopefully no, you can tell this is working. But anyways, see, I'm just speaking, but it doesn't matter actually. It's just like the energy of the painting right now. It's like world between worlds, between worlds, and this is how it feels sometimes with the social media, but at the same time it's amazing to see, like, to have like eyes in what's happening in Egypt, what's happening in California, in Florida, in France, it's amazing. All right, so happy 11/11. It's intense. All right, let's continue this story. Okay, so he's stuck on a tree, right? He's stuck on a tree. What's gonna happen? Okay, he was longer. Hour passed when at last Botoke heard the crunching of twigs and the shifting of leaves beneath him. His heart leaped in his chest. Brother has forgiven me, he whispered to himself. He's come to rescue me. Botoke's excitement quickly disappeared when a strange laugh echoed among the trees, as wild as the roar of a great predator, but light-hearted like the chuckle of a full-grown man. As Botoke looked on, a jaguar stepped out into the open, standing on 2 feet, with a bow in one hand and an arrow in the other. Up until this point, Botoke had never seen a bow and arrow before. He had also never seen a jaguar on 2 or 4 feet. What are you? He called out. his eyes wide with fear. Me? Snort the jaguar. Why, I'm Jaguar, of course. And I know exactly what you are. He licked his lips, then smiled a wicked, toothy grin. What am I? I know that wasn't it, sorry. He's like, what you are, I know exactly what you are. I thought he was going to eat him, sorry. What I... You're stuck, said Jaguar, almost purring in amusement. I thought that was pretty obvious. I was trying to scare him. You human are such funny creature, always getting yourselves into the strangest situations. Carefully, Jaguar slid the bow and arrow into a quiver on his back. He bent low to the ground, then sprang forward, darting up and along the trunk to where Botoke was stranded. You see, if I read the story before, I would have read it differently. The tone makes a difference. Before Botoke could act, Jaguar grabbed him by the waist and pulled him free from the tree. Ah, cried Botoke, finding his voice in time to scream as he and Jaguar hurtled to the ground, where they landed in a soft thud on the forest floor. Calm down, human, said Jaguar. You're safe now. But Botoke could not calm down. The moment he was on his feet, he was backing away from Jaguar, his fist up, ready to fight. Then he caught a whiff. Oh, maybe he doesn't speak Jaguar, that's why. He caught a whiff of something delicious. He sniffed once, sniffed twice, before spawning the basket of fresh meat hanging alongside Jaguar's bow. His belly let out an enormous growl. Jaguar laughed, wilder than ever. Your stomach could teach me a thing or two about growling, he said with a smile. Now come along, boy. I will prepare you some food, and you will see that I am no enemy. Jaguar stalked off through the forest, and a few minutes later, a cautious but curious Botoke followed behind him, hugging his rumbling belly as he went. Please do come in, said Jaguar when they arrived at his home. Warm yourself by the fire and tell me stories of your village while I cook us some meat. Cook? asked Botoke. Then fire? Botoke had never heard of such things. So the moment he entered Jaguar's musty home and saw bright, hot something dancing and flickering across a pile of logs, all he could do was gasp. What is that? asked Botoke, afraid to take another step inside. That's fire, Jaguar grinned. There's no need to be afraid. I will teach you all about it. Interesting. See, I like that it's about fire because this entire week is about fire. The trip in Egypt is called Fire. The painting I'm doing right now about alchemy. Oh, my ear is ringing. The painting I'm doing right now about alchemy is about fire as well. I will talk about this Sunday morning. And that's just, wait. Okay. Jaguar stalked out the forest, and a few minutes later, a cautious but curious Botoke followed behind him, hugging his rumbling belly as he went. Please do come in, said Jaguar when they arrived at his home. Warm yourself by the fire and tell me stories of your village while I cook us some meat. Cook? asked Botoke. Then fire? Botoke had never heard of such thing. Isn't it funny that the Jaguar is teaching the human? That shows how nature shows the secret. You know, everybody who goes to the jungle and they do ayahuasca and stuff like that, they come back and like the plant gives them secrets. Like about secrets about equations, secrets about alchemy, secrets about the medicine, the plants, and stuff like that, healing. So the moment he entered Jaguar's musty home and saw a bright hot something dancing and flickering across a pile of logs, all he could do was gasp. What is that? Oh, I did that. That's fire. I will teach you all about it. Oh wait, did I just read this like twice? I'm sorry, guys. And that's just what Jaguar did. Over the next few days, he took Botoke about the uses of fire. He showed him how to cook meat, making it taste sublime. He explained how fire could warm you on a cold day and how dangerous it was if you did not treat it with respect. And when he was done, he taught Botoke how to use a bow and arrow too. Now that I have shared the secrets of fire with you, said Jaguar after a week had passed, you must promise never to share it with humankind. Look at this picture. Botoke was taken aback. How could he keep the wonders of fire from his people? He started to complain, but the loud growl from Jaguar made him change his mind. I promise, he said, a little glumly. Jaguar smiled, and from then on, Botoke was his valued guest, often visiting from his village to eat cooked meat and tell tales of his life. All was peaceful until the day Jaguar's wife returned home after many weeks away, exhausted from her travels. Who is this in my house? He snarled, dropping a huge basket of meat, letting its contents spill all across the floor. Jaguar had left to gather more wood of the fire, and Botoke was all alone, his mouth stuffed full of food. Oh, he's not gonna like it. Before Botoke had a chance to swallow, let alone explain what he was doing there, Jaguar's wife charged at him. In a fury, she swiped at him with her needle-sharp claws, almost raking his chest. Thief, villain, get out of my home, she shrieked. In a rush of fear, Botoke sped from Jaguar's house, knocking his angry wife aside as he fled. He could hear her yelling behind him as he darted between trees and dug between branches. He looked back only once, in time to see Jaguar's wife aiming an arrow at his back. Thankfully for Botoke, by the time she let it fly, he was too far away, and the arrow skid harmlessly to a halt across a molly log. Back at the village, Botoke's family surrounded him with concern. He looked a mess. His hair was matted with twigs and leaves, and his breathing was frantic. What's wrong? They asked. What happened to you? Forgetting his promise to Jaguar, Botoke explained everything that had happened to him, from the moment he had scaled the kapok tree. He told them about fire and cooked meat and bows and arrows. He told them about Jaguar and his wife, and where they lived. How dare they attack you? A guest in their home? Said Botoke's father, outraged. Clearly, they do not deserve the wonders they've kept hidden from us. By this time, Botoke had recovered enough from his shock to see the wrong he had done, breaking his promise to Jaguar. They are not evil, Botoke protested. It was simply a mistake, I'm sure it was. But it was too late. Nobody was listening to him. Their hearts were too filled with rage, and their minds too clouded by imaginary fires and sizzling meat. That night, Botoke's family dragged him into the forest, demanding he show them where Jaguar lived. Reluctantly, Botoke led them back to the kapok tree, and from there to Jaguar home. When they arrived, they were delighted to discover that Jaguar and his wife were out on an evening prowl. They were even more delighted by the strange wonder awaiting them inside. It's so bright, said Botoke's brother, squinting as he approached Jaguar's fire. Timidly, he reached out a hand to grab it, felt its intense heat prickling his fingers, and quickly snapped it back. You shouldn't touch fire, said Botoke knowingly. Instead, grab a log and carry the fire upon it. So Botoke's family each took a log and one by one carried away Jaguar's fire. But that was not all they took. They also took Jaguar's cooked meat, along with his bow and arrows. When Jaguar returned home, he found it a dark and empty place, his fire gone, his bow and arrows missing. He fell to all fours and snarled at the sky, a terrifying sound filled with great anger and sadness, without any trace of laughter. And that is why today Jaguar hunts without a bow, and why he eats his meat uncooked, and why he has no love of human. All because a long, long time ago, a boy broke his promise. Wow. Crazy. Okay. So what's the moral of the story? It's about trust. It's about trust. It's about the secrets as well. You know, the other day I was talking to one of my friends, Sherry, who is a great artist that we met in Miami, and her page is Sherry Advice Art. She's amazing. She's amazing. And we were at this exhibition, and we had 2 mandalas, right? My son that is here, you will see tomorrow or the other day. And her son, she had a son too, and they were like facing each other. They were like communicating, responding to each other, right? And that was crazy. And she's an amazing priestess, right? She's an Orisha priestess. And we were talking the other day because I was asking her questions. I was like, I'm curious about your culture and your traditions and stuff like that. And she said that it's not very well known because it was asked to be kept, you know, secret for, it's passed on. And just like the mystery schools and all the cultures in the Inca, they said that a few Incas know where the other Incas are, right? But it's all kept secret. So by respect, that you had to keep the secret. And so nowadays we're at this time in history when I feel, you know, many of the prophecies, we'll talk again on the 17th about it. I'm not going to talk for too long, but it's just to introduce for the rest of the week what we'll talk about on the 17th, yes. How nowadays the dilemma is that I see the gap, you know, this is following the prophecies and stuff, the time, well, there was a time that's going to be revealed. It had to be kept secret until the time that it was the moment to reveal, because the humanity would be ready, because there would be, this time is called as the Great Divide and the Great Unification at the same time. Okay, the Great Divide and the Great Unification, because the gap is becoming too big between mostly since COVID. You know, COVID is the one biggest divide criteria. At least it's been for a year, 2 years, and it has taken people apart, you know. So now we're at this time where there has been this great divide and we need the reunification, because like they were saying, it's taking over, or it's slowly taking over our rights. You know, I wrote this meme one day. What was it? They were like, pretty much that we don't know, we're not taught our rights. You know, why do we accept for our rights to be taken all the time? Because we were not taught our rights when we're in school and stuff like that. But it's the time that we have to open our consciousness. We have no choice. The environment in 50 years, we know, with the global warming, with the recycling and everything, we know that we have no choice. Otherwise, our directly next and second to next generations are going to be living in a completely different world, and we already are. So this is the pivoting point when we're wondering, so what do we do with all the knowledge? Do we still want to keep them secret, or is it time, like the truth is being revealed? When you see Gaia TV, Resonance Science Foundation, what I love about them is because it's science. It's science. So there is already this giant, at least third or half of the population that can be skeptical, or that just judges by what they see and that needs to have proof of everything. Well, now there is proof of entanglement. There is proof that telepathy, that frequency, okay, the energy of crystals. I had this one for the, look at this, tiger's eye. So there is proof that all this is real, all this energy healing, these frequencies and stuff like that. So this is already a giant part of the population that now is asking questions. When you look at Gaia TV, it's no longer, you know, at the time when you used to see the UFO program, it's like once a month you see a UFO program on TV, you're like, oh my God, they're gonna reveal that thing, you know, and like, oh, there was one day in Roswell, the crash of Roswell, you know, a couple of information. Now it's a giant platform full of information. The Navy is releasing files, you know, and the government, US governments, the Canada, it's been years since Paul Hellyer wrote this book, right? And had this conference. It was a conference in Canada where he's talking about people being in contact with other beings and other civilizations and stuff like that by telepathy. Notably, they talk about how the presidents declared that when they met, they would meet these other civilization, they would communicate by telepathy with them or with music and stuff like that. So is it the time that we open up the secrets? But there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it as well. You see, if you're stealing the fire, that's a crazy story, because you see, they didn't have to turn off the fire. They could have taken the fire if they needed the fire, okay? As humans, we need the fire, okay? They could have shared the fire, take the fire and bring it to them. It's just like love, you know? The guy who was commenting on my post, he was like, oh, hurry up, there won't be seats for everybody, whatever. And I was like, yes, there is love for everybody. It's the only resource that grows as you use it. And the fire is the same, actually. The fire is just like love. It's one of the only resources that there is more as you use it, you know, as you feel it. So they could have taken the fire and shared it. They didn't have to turn off their fire to go and take it. Yeah. All right, so let's pull a card. I will let you make your own interpretation. And so I'm going to pull one card from the Lover's Oracle, because today the theme of the Root Chakra was soul and family. Okay, so it's dedicated to you guys if you're watching. The Lover's Oracle by Tony Salerno. And on this day of Kundalini awakening, I love this one. On this day of Kundalini, let's use our channels to anchor love, compassion, magic, freedom. All right. A message for you. Beautiful card. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Ooh, I like it. Beautiful. I love it. And let's see what the other one is. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Yes, that's true as well. That's true as well, what we were talking about in the comments. But you know what? Now I'm like, I see this comment that this guy, I'm thinking about this comment, you know, there is always several layers on thing. And sometimes you read the message and you take it away, and then you're like, oh, this is what it meant. Man. But you can only, the message comes when your consciousness is ready. Okay. Because I missed out on an event. I'm like, how could I? All right, then. Alana Fairchild. So I was like, do I keep this one for Instagram? So for Instagram, I'm going to do a special Egypt, okay? Especially for our Egypt group and everybody, you know, today is the last day to register for the trip in Egypt. It's going to be amazing. Like, there is this thing about Egypt at the moment, right? Because there's all these trips, the pyramids are activating, but it's not just Egypt, it's all around the earth. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, I see it. I feel that. It's all around the earth, right? The Pachamama. I can't wait for the 17th. I'm going to talk about this. So excited. so Egypt. So I was like, today I'm going to talk about the Isis Oracle. I'm going to pull a card from Isis Oracle. And I'm always like, oh, do I post it? Do I not post it? Because Isis, you know, but Isis, it's just like history. Okay, you know, I always talk about recoding. You can recode, reprogram the matrix. So if there is a story that you don't like, for example, you know, yesterday I was talking about the story of the hummingbird. And the real story of the hummingbird is that the hummingbird turns off the forest all by himself. And it's crazy how fire stories keep coming back. The real story is that the hummingbird ends up turning off the fire by himself, and that's through his persistence and determination he accomplishes on his own, despite what other people think. But when I told the story, I recoded it because I was like, this is not the message I wanted to share. And I said, when everybody else saw the hummingbird turning off the fire, they turned around and they came and helped him turn the fire, and a lot faster and quicker they turned off the fire all by himself, because I wanted to share a message of solidarity and compassion. Okay, so even that story that I read right now, how they took the fire, they turned off their fire, right? And this is, you read something in history, you read something in a book, this is your choice to interpret it. This is your choice to recode the story. Okay, there is destiny. You know, there is fate and destiny. It's nothing is a fate. You know, nothing is a fate. You have things that you're here to transmute and alchemize. Okay, this is the destiny. Okay, transmuting the sadness, the bad, you know, I think the worst is sadness, because anger can turn into creative fire, you know. Well, the joys, of course, no one complains about happiness and joy and stuff like that, but sadness is the hardest, because anger still gives you adrenaline, right? The sadness just puts you down. So this is really the importance, because in this story, you know, the jaguar was probably angry, you know, super angry and mad, but mostly he was probably sad that he gave his trust and was betrayed, you know. And so when I see all the mysteries, all the secrets, and I'm like, do I want to share that? But yes, because the truth wants to come out now. It's really more and more, but it depends on how we do it. You know, there is branches, and this is why there are so many doing it. And so, you know, the Isis, so the same way we can recode positively in history, there are many times when the governments or strategic military, all kind of stuff, they recoded things to manipulate the mind, or advertisement, commercials on TV. Many, like the branding. What is branding? What is branding? Why do you see everywhere Coca-Cola, or a brand everywhere? Just the logo. Why? Because it's imprint. It's imprint in your mind. It's imprint, and then it becomes your comfort zone. So when you see it, it's comfort. You take it, you buy it, right? So when they want to reprogram something, they do like reverse engineering, and like the Nazi cross, the Swadhisthana, I think, Swadhisthana, the Buddhist cross, right? That used to be a symbol of Buddhism, of equilibrium, of path, of, I would say, time. Like when I see those symbols, you can see it activating like a wheel. You can see like different pathway. You can see a mechanism. You can see the balance between the different realm, the underworld. Yes. The four orientation, all this stuff. But then they turned it and they made it at the symbol of the Nazi, because people were already, this was already known, engraved in people's memory as something positive, as something good. So they took the logo and just changed it, reversed it. Okay, and they did their thing. And now in the entire history of the world, no one used the Swadhisthana anymore. I don't see, because the association, when you see it, it reminds me of something stronger that we coded with it, that is negative. So no one wants to have nothing to do with the symbol anymore, but we can recode it. We can recode it. We can say, okay, this Nazi thing won't happen anymore. It doesn't exist. Let's find back the symbols. And so it's the same with Isis, because Isis is the most strongest noble energy of goddesses. Okay, so the sacred feminine. Can talk about it tomorrow as well. The sacred feminine, the power, the presence. Okay, Isis accompanies all the initiates, the priestesses, okay, the goddess energy, the sacred feminine, all of that. All right, so what did they do? All the religions, when they didn't want at this time of, okay, this is going to be added in my masterclass in the Angel Pact. So I don't know how, because this is like super deep, but I still want you to be able to see that and access it. When the women in our society, before the woman was at home with the children, right? When the women in our society, when there was progress and we started having tools and machines that would do the work instead of women, started having dishwasher, washers. Actually, I published a funny video on my the PDF file for today. Okay, it's like an interview with the Root Chakra. This is hilarious. Okay, I saw this years ago, and it's just so funny when he's like, yeah, these are women's tasks, like the washing dishes, and washers and stuff. Yeah, this is more like for women, because yeah, it's engraved in the memory. But when all this progress happened and women started having free time and becoming more independent and getting back to their power, I can tell as a mother how when you have your kids, your baby, you put your entire life aside, because it's the baby, so you kind of, when you're always at home and with the kids and you're being a mother, it's amazing to be a mother. Isis is like the universal mother as well. She mothers all the other women, but you take this strength as a mother, as a woman, but you lose that strength as an individual. Who am I besides of my family, my kids? Who am I? What do I have the time to do? What are my priorities? And as both parents, it's not just women. Talking about the countries that did not want women to start gaining these powers, okay? So the countries where, depending on their religion, and once again, I'm talking about the extremists, right? But in Afghanistan, for example, 50 years ago or 70 years ago, women weren't wearing the burqa, okay? Women were dressed like us. It's since then extremism came and took over with these people who did not want the women to take back on their power, because they realized that women are awesome, right? And that, at the time of Egypt, women were the deciders. And anyway, I'm not saying men or all women, any better. I'm talking about the equality here. But in some culture, that some extremists were like, hey, we're not going to let these women, take over the power, and started like covering them and like repressing their identity and stuff like that. So this is when ISIS, the terrorist movement group, like came up. They recoded that sacred feminine power into something negative. So now the entire world, I'm even scared. I'm like, oh, do I show like the ISIS oracle on Instagram? I don't know. Like, this is why I'm doing the video on Zoom as well, because then I can take my videos or put them on YouTube or not. But you see how there is this fear of the conditioning. When what I'm showing you is something super sacred and divine, and from Alana Fairchild, who is an amazing writer and goddess as well. So you see, I have my crystal ball. I love it. let's see. It's a shame you can't see, but I want you to have the painting in the background at the same time. So yes, so because Egypt, I wanted to have a card today for Egypt and as introduction for tomorrow for the sacral chakra that I will be interviewing. I invited some guests. I don't know if they're, because they're traveling right now, if they can join us. Okay, that would be amazing. If not, I will be talking about them anyways and pulling a card. I'll pull another one for Isis tomorrow. Okay. When we're talking tomorrow about the sacred temples, remember? I always pull this card. That's crazy. Okay, card for everybody. Cool. Interesting. All right. 2 cards. I always want to pull 3, but like, all right. All right, 3. Wow. Crazy. Okay, so the first one that I pull is this one. The miracle of Isis. Miraculous healing of the goddess. Wow, this is exactly the healing of the goddess. And you know what we just did, like everything I was just talking about right now, about how her name has been dirtied, right, by that history and the extremism and everything. Yeah, we say, hey, gods and goddesses. We're going to talk about gods and goddesses. They have feelings too. You know, this is when, just like when you see these celebrities, right? You see these celebrities or like, you know, people that are super empowered, super successful, awesome, you know, you idealize them. You know, you idolize them. They're like, oh my God, they're perfect. Oh my God, they're scared of nothing. Oh my God, they have such great energy and stuff. But sometimes these are the ones who give so much to others, and they're pulling so strong in their own energy for the others that they are the ones who need the most also feedback, attention, healing, you know. So, and also be treated as a normal person. In the end, we're all equal, we're all the same, you know. So when I see, of course, and you know, that's very interesting, it recoups, I'm glad I put this part, it recoups with the story that I was reading when the puma is kind of like, hey, I'm not the jaguar, I'm the jaguar, of course, you know, this is my fire, don't share the fire. So yes, there is in both parts, right? When he wants to keep his secret for him, he wants to show his dominion, and at the same time he has his reason, because maybe he has experience being betrayed, maybe he's trying to protect that his fire, the humans won't put his forest on fire, or that exactly what happened when they came and turned off his own fire, you know. So he's probably had bad experiences before, but at the same time I think it's a 50-50 on that. And so, yeah, when I see the goddess, they need healings as well, you know, and this is why, or the pyramids, just like when Matthias and Tiago and all their friends there, Mateia, I've been following everybody, you know, I follow a lot, everything is going on around the world, thanks to the social media. They're giving back to the pyramids, because we always say, oh, the pyramids, they gave us so much energy, my energy has shifted this place, you know. Oh, I called the mother Isis or Mary Magdalene, or I connect to this energy, yeah, I'm refilled. Or I watch my mentors, that refills me, that recharges me, gives me the motivation. Oh, this inspired me. Okay, but even the pyramids, even the gods, even the super successful people, they need to return. Okay, so right now they're returning artifacts to the pyramids, okay, and to Isis. I think it was important to say that today, that the reputation, the name, you know, to always keep the respect also for the names. When you have someone in front of you You know, through social media, it's easy to hide behind the social media, behind your screen, to put comments and stuff like that. But how would you behave when you have people right in front of you? You know? So yeah, so wow. So yeah, let's talk about Isis, this beautiful goddess. And you see here how the guardian and her protector came, and she's being carried. He's protecting and carrying her as well. I love it. This is so interesting. And then this one, the knot of Isis. So this is interesting. Energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Look at that. Look at that. It's like the Ankh, but it's a different variation. It looks almost like an energetic circuit. The hieroglyph. You see the Ankh? It's different. You still have the loop. It's like a handle, but at the same time, it's like a conduct. And I saw a mandala that looked just like that yesterday with all the crisscross, right? It's kind of like a Celtic. Almost look like the Celtic knots, but Egyptian. Once again, recouping all the religions like this together. Get 8 little bars with the snake. Look at the little snake on the card. See, today is the symbol of the snake, the root chakra, the kundalini. You see it? See the little snake right here? I want to read this card. How long have I been on for? Do I know? And then I love this one. The spirit of Isis, triumph of the goddess. Yes. Yes, the return of Isis. Everybody's talking about Egypt now. Nothing can stop us. You know, because keeping the secret was important, but also, you know, you're in between. It's nice to have secrets. It's nice to keep your data, you know, to keep privacy, to keep secrets and stuff. But at the same time, when you want to make the big wave, the big ripple, you also have to talk about it. And it's also respecting, to honor. You know, imagine like we have a president and like we keep him secret. No one knows who's the president. It's like, okay, well, no, you honor your president. Or, you know, I'm talking more about Obama because this was the best president. I think this is the only time in history that I liked a president, like since I was born. Like all the presidents, when I was in France, never really care about the presidents. I never really found a president that like had I felt like the charisma, and you know, that would, I don't know, not like saying they're all okay, right? But it's like nothing wow, you know, and that you're like, oh my God, Obama. Then all the other American presidents, I don't know, I was too young for Clinton, but Obama is the first time I was actually excited. I was like, oh my God, I love this guy, you know. So when I'm a fan, I'm a big fan level. So you're like, oh, for example, when, you know, when you're a teenager, when I was a teenager, I used to have these posters in my room. I had the Spice Girl posters, and I had the X-Files, the I Want to Believe with the little alien, that I want to believe that. Because when you like something, you know, you're honored, you want to show it, display it. So this is how I consider it. You know, when I show all these secrets, all these crystals, all these new technologies, it's kind of big, because you imagine, of course, the amount of money that is involved into that, like the amount of people who use solar panel around the entire world. This is a giant industry. Imagine from a day to another, you say, hey, no, there is another kind of energy that's going to make everything obsolete. Or the phones, you know, all the phones. Every single human on the planet has a phone or an iPhone. Imagine this is billions of like dollars and money all around the planet. So all of a sudden you say, hey everyone, we're doing telepathy and a hologram, now you can teleport over there, like all these airplanes, all this, the gas, you know, once you have the free energy, all the gas that goes in the car, all the fuel, all this is a giant industry, all the pharmaceuticals, everything. Once you say, no, the power of plants and crystals can heal you, we don't need the medicine anymore, or we need the medicine before like the graver cases, but for all this kind of stuff. So this is lots of business, the entire world that is, you know, being transformed right now thanks to all this natural stuff like Gaia TV, all these resonance science, the mathematics, the geometry. This morning I was watching Robert Brown's video when he was talking how when you draw the geometry, and I say the same thing, I completely agree, when you draw the geometry, it's not the same as meditating. When you have an original painting directly in front of you, yes, I recommend, and actually I invite you to visit my gallery, get original paintings because they are super powerful. You see all the energy, the downloads, the inspiration, all that is through the art. And while you're creating it, you open directly from you, okay? So you can have the portal in front of you, you buy an original, and when you're creating, you are the portal, you become the portal. And so he was saying, yeah, he was saying that you're able to reconnect, you know, with these Akashic records, with your past life, with all the universal information, right? You become the infinitely small. You become the substance. Therefore, you see and know everything, just like Lucy. You know Lucy, the movie? When she's like connecting to the matrix almost. So this is how it is. This is how it is when you're painting and stuff. No, it's a shame that the quality of the video from the Zoom is really not that great. Like I'm making awesome videos and it's like, all right, I have a nice dress and stuff like for the video and everything. You can barely tell, like nice dragons and stuff. Anyways, yes, so I want to invite you to paint, okay? It's time to start painting, to start talking about this. So yeah, let's what do we want to continue? You know, we want to keep it secret and continue using our plastic and continue using our medicine, or we want to open up and be like, okay, I'm gonna get the angel pack now and I'm gonna get 2 awesome mandalas and some workshops like with masterminds. I'm gonna paint the Metatrons cube, I'm gonna paint a giant landscape with mystical animals and energy. I'm gonna become the substance and paint dots of paint, and I'm gonna create some awesome talisman that's gonna bring energy in my entire house and open up my life, make me discover new people and connect. Once you connect energetically, there is this entanglement, then you align to the frequency, right? You become on the wave, then you cross the portal, right? The 1111, so powerful, so powerful. So I invite you to join the mastermind. I have 3 masterminds: Journey to Love, Metatrons Vibes, and the Angel Pack that comes with the trainings, the classes, the art classes, and 2 crystals. So just like what I'm giving today, you see, I'm giving this one I'm going to give on the last day. Okay, the Flower of Life will be on the last day. Today, well, I'm saying I'm giving away to the first person who's going to comment on that. Send me, okay, the first person who's commenting on my post, I'm sending them this with a card. I'm going to pull 1 card today. Okay, so I'm accumulating all these little gifts. You guys don't want my gifts even for free? Okay, wow, I keep going. But why do I do that? When I was at the market in Riverside, everybody who would come to my stand, I would give them a card, right? So, and I was telling them, so everyone in Jacksonville, there's 44. Once I gave the entire oracle away, I was like, there's 44 persons right now in Jacksonville that have 1 card. and that are all connecting through this deck, right? So it's like an energy, little mini pillars. So this is what I'm doing right now. From this set, everybody, I want many persons to have one of the set. I know it looks really tiny, but it's a little treasure you can keep with you in your pocket. And there's 7 other people that are gonna have it. And the cards as well. Oh, look, moods. Perfect. 22. Wow. And it's the 11-11. Oh my God. Wow, this is amazing. Yes, so only one. Moods, yes, absolutely, because you see the root chakra is also the chakra of anger. So learning to transmute your anger into love, because love is at the source of everything. Okay, if you're angry at someone, it's because of love. If you're sad about someone, it's because of love. Let me explain why. Because let's say that I'm telling you, when I'm angry at my son, right? He's like, let's say when he was really tiny, he's like running around the pool. He's like so excited, running. And I'm here like terrified. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna slip on the wet floor, hurt his head, fall in the pool, you know. And so he's running and having so much fun. And I'm like, don't do it. And then like he climbs on the table stuff. And I'm like, hey, stop it, you know, get down now, you know. And I'm yelling at him and I'm angry, but why? It's because I'm scared for him, right? I worry about him. I'm scared for him because I love him. Or if you're sad, let's say you want to see a friend, right? And let's say they don't show up or whatever. And then you're mad at them or you're sad at them. Why? Is it because you don't like them? Is it because, no, it's because you wanted more love. You know, so it's always, love is the source of everything. You're like, oh, I wish they'd invite me, you know, and so then you're disappointed because you wanted to be a part of it. But at the root of it is love. And this is what I mean with this card. You know, it's that every feeling in the world is part of love. So once you understand this and you learn to analyze your emotions, and this is what we're doing this week of chakras, exploring all the chakras and the why and the root and how it manifests in your life. Plastic, okay? Then you're able to transmute your emotion and alchemize your emotions. And this painting that's right behind me, it's on purpose today because it's the imagination, and they're like protection symbols. They're called sigils. Man, I wish the quality of the video would be better. Seriously, it's like there's not even a color. Maybe I'm not going to zoom anymore. I don't like it, but no one shows up anyways. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to read this one, The Knot of Isis, and then I'm going to switch to Instagram. Knot of Isis. Okay, so go to my website, pachamamart.org, look at the shop, the mastermind, learn how to paint. I talk about this. These sessions are going to be added in my angel pack, but there's more about all kinds of topics. It was important to talk about Isis today as we're talking about Egypt, and this is the last day to register for the trip. The Knot of Isis. So you see it. Energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. You are under the spiritual guidance and protection of the divine feminine. Part of your high destiny this lifetime is to heal and flourish through the divine feminine in her many forms, especially in those forms that truly resonate and hold meaning for you. This healing will happen on your personal path and may well be part of the work that you offer in service to the world, which may be simply in how you live your life. Yes, 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 100%. In one of my cards in my deck, I say, you know, the revolution or your life don't have to be violent or extraordinary. You know, it's sometimes the magic in the simple things also, you know, in the little miracle. And seeing, for me, it's amazing. For me, this past 2 years, when I see your walls, your journey, and when I see how we all align in this big puzzle, you know, of the world, and perfectly, like, wow, I'm like, yes, this is, you know, this is an army. We can't let, and like I said, the governments, once again, I think it's a tough position to be at the government because you can't please everybody. There will always be people who come and criticize you, but I also know people that have millions of people who follow them, and they have such integrity in their life that you can do things right. You know, you can do things right, and there are things that are not acceptable. There are things that are not normal. There are things that are made to base our mindset on fear, you know, and keep us isolated. And you know, this social media, yeah, let's keep going. This oracle brings special indication that your soul is braiding or twinning with the divine feminine energies in a particular form. For some, that will be a specific goddess, and the energy process will often be strong and deep. The initiate will feel as if they are integrating the part of this goddess that is not just in them, but is part of their own consciousness. It is a deeply personal, spiritually powerful, and beautiful growth experience for the soul. This process does not make you lose your individuality. We're talking about that. If it's happening in a genuine way, you will not believe yourself to be the goddess in question. You will instead experience her as a part of your own being, and your being as a part of her. You become everyone connected to this sacred feminine energy. You will not cease to exist as an individual light, and yet you will have grown more into divine communion with the sacred divine feminine. For others, there will be a sense of the divine feminine in many forms and faces, and you will enjoy her variety and vastness as you grow spiritually. You will not sense a particular goddess so much as you feel a deepening soul connection, an awakening to the divine feminine principle, which is the animating force behind all goddess energy. For still others, there will be simply a knowing that love for the divine feminine, whether a man or a woman, is a key part of your spiritual journey in this lifetime. That is your important spiritual task, to just love her and be loved by her, living with honor and respect for the body, the earth, and being committed to grow in conscious awareness as to how to best express that love and respect in a genuinely healing way. Yeah, and then it keeps going, but you get the knot or buckle of Isis protects, guides, and stabilizes your energy field while it is in transition. Okay, I'm going to read from the beginning. As an initiate of the divine feminine, you are offered a sacred tool to assist you in integrating and honoring her energies for your own benefit and for the benefit of a human collective. This tool will help your soul blend with the divine feminine in a higher vibration, and this in turn will naturally draw body and soul into deeper connection and harmony. You are invited to experience this sacred tool for yourself by calling upon the sacred healing and protection of the knot of Isis. The knot or buckle of Isis protects, guides, and stabilizes your energy field whilst it is in transition from one state to another. It is especially useful for spiritual growth with the feminine energies because these are intimately related to the body and the relationship between the soul and body, creating light within the body, connecting soul and body as one conscious, harmonious, illuminated being. The knot of Isis is like a container that holds you together whilst inside. In a gentle way, you fall apart enough that you can be reorganized, restructured, and reformed within the sacred container of the sacred knot. Once you are able in your new soul structure, the knot is no longer needed until the next transition point in your relationship between your body of growing light and your soul as they become more fully united as one. You may call for the knot of Isis as a symbol that you visualize or an energetic support structure that you may not perceive directly but will feel in effect. A sense of being held safe and firm to the perfect degree. Yes. Unconditional love to support you. Okay. So you see, there is still this notion of balance, the balance, you know, that you have in the key, right? Whew, very interesting, very powerful. But you see, I'm already like, okay, it's time to say goodbye on these beautiful notes. I will see you tomorrow for the sacral chakra, talking more about the sacred feminine energy and maybe the sacred masculine energy as well, because it's not just for women. You know, we need our men also, like the protection, the energy, the action, all of that. So yeah, that was intense. I hope you enjoyed the session and that you have a beautiful day. Today, red, so I'm wearing red, and I was eating strawberry jelly this morning, and I have a red juice for later. But if you go to my Chakradventure on my website, www.pachamamart.org/Chakradventure, you will see it on the menu. You have the PDF file, okay? For today, there is a juice recipe. There is a funny video also that I recommend that you watch. It just made me laugh, like when I saw that. And go to my website, explore my website. There are so much stuff, so much amazing original paintings for purchase, gifts for Christmas, mugs, bags, clocks, everything with my artworks, that stickers that starts at $4. Okay, so don't think my original paintings, they're more expensive, because it's years of work, of sleepless nights, of energy healing, that you will receive all this condensed and extracted like an essential oil, right, in a mandala, in a painting, that are super powerful, right? So it's not just the painting that you're buying, it's the vision. It's why do I offer all this for free as much as I can? I always try to share all my content, all my knowledge for free, even at first, and then so at least the people who follow me, you know, and are interested, they can see it. And before I put it on my masterminds, I always try to send gifts away. I always try to integrate, you know, if you buy the angel pack, you have crystals, you have the workshops, and I make 2 paintings for you like this. You see these 2? Okay, you see these 2? This is what comes with the a little smaller than that, because this is an order for a restaurant. Sacred feminine, sacred masculine energy. This is what you get with your angel pack in 10 by 10, but this is bigger, right? But this is for a restaurant, because you know, I'm like a little late on an order, so I'm gonna make them 2 paintings. They order 1 painting for me, and it's been 2 months. I'm like really late. But because I've been wanting really to make these videos, because, you know, when I paint, it just unlocks so much. I download so much information. You can see I'm talking like 10,000 information a second, and I'm painting and I'm writing at the same time. I'm like, oh my God, I can't miss any of this. Like, I need to reference. I write everything. Then I make a challenge. I post it online. I write an article. And so I don't want to start a new painting before all this has been processed and written, and keep track of it. And then I have 4 paintings that I'm finishing up first. I'm going to start this one, but I want to complete all the other paintings. I want to make this challenge and start these 2 paintings next week. All this, there's going to be, the portal is open right now. We're all in agitation. We're all in this process. After that, it's just like a full moon. Everything, the energies are rising. And 3 days after the full moon, you feel good, you feel more relaxed. And it's going to be the same after this challenge. We're realigning our chakras, and then we're going to be integrating all this. And you know, we're starting from the earth chakra, so we're going to go up, okay, until the crown chakra. We're going to go up. So we're going to open, expand, and then you know, it's not that you crash, it's that just at some point you're gonna need to rest, you're gonna feel more tired, you're gonna integrate all of that. Okay, just like the learning process, you learn and you feel like you're stagnant. You're like, oh, I'm stagnant, I haven't painted anything. That was this year. I was like, oh, I've been doing, and then I'm like, oh man, now I realize I haven't painted anything. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a painting or two. Oh, maybe two, maybe three. Oh, let's do a series. And then now I've almost finished them up, but they are here. Like I need the finishing touch, and I'm like, man, I'm stagnant. I haven't painted anything in a while. I'm super slow. But at the end, you look back and you're like, oh yeah, I did paint quite a bit of stuff. I did do my masterminds online. I did, you know, do quite a bit. So I mean, all we can do is keep going one step at a time and do what we can with the intuition that we have. And yes, keep going. So have a beautiful day, soul family, everybody. Thank you for watching. Go to my website. Please follow tomorrow the interview. I will have a guest, maybe many guests. I don't know who shows up, but everybody's welcome. Show your face, just come say hi. Hey guys, you know, we're calling you from here. We're calling you from here. I'm calling you from my temple. I want to see your temples, you know. Yes, your sacred places. And we'll talk about it, but you know, this is the sacred temple. This is the knowledge, what is your passion tomorrow, the sacral chakra, you know, today and tomorrow is like, what is the root of your excitement, you know, what is your passion, what lights you up, what ignites your fire. Okay, we're still talking about the fire. So it's kind of like even your intimacy, and when you have these passions, these topics that are kind of like so extraordinary for you, and sometimes we're not all interested in the same stuff, so you can talk to it about it to someone that are like, oh yeah, so what, you know, and then it's kind of like turn off your fire. You're like, oh, and maybe they're going to be talking to you about something and they're so excited. But like for me, I love when people talk to you about something with passion, you know. This is like, oh yeah, the enthusiasm, I love that. There must be something in there, you know. So take the risk, take the vulnerability to talk about your things. It's impressive. That's why my fan level, you know, you always see me like, oh, I'm such a fan, you know, of Dean, of this show, this person, this, oh my God, they're awesome and stuff. Yes, because we need more of that. We need more of that. The passionate people who take risk, you know, and to open up and show themselves. And a lot of the people who stay in their comfort zone and don't want to take the risk, they don't want you to, they will feel bad, you know. They'll be like, oh, why didn't I do this? Like today I missed out on, and even today, like I'm mad at myself. I'm like, how did I miss out on that? Like, damn, you know, no, nobody goes, like you know. No, I'm just kidding. But that's kind of like, you know, you see people do what you would like to do, and then you're mad because you want to be a part of it. But sometimes if people are not open enough or have open-mindedness or mindfulness, you know, to be happy for others, to be like, oh, okay, well, you know, okay, you rock this, you know, and when it's my turn, then we'll do it. And we all have something to do at the same time. Like I say, we're all pillars, right? Gems. All right, everybody. So have a great weekend. And I will see you tomorrow for the sacral chakra. Bye.